Hey folks, how's it going? So I got something pretty decent today. Um, Both interesting but tragic at the same time. Here I am at a bridge. Check this out. Do you see this? Pretty significant bridge. It's a railroad bridge. It's about 5 stories down, 60 feet or so. And there's a large creek right here. Well, back in 1891, there was a very, very massive accident right here on this spot. A train came flying right off that bridge, doing about 35-ish, 40 miles per hour. Steam engine. It was pulling 6 cars, a tender, second class coach, first class, a private car, a baggage car, and I believe there was like a caboose, a Pullman's car on the back. But I have some images of it I want to show you. And where I'm standing is pretty much where they took this photo. So check it out. First I'll give you an image of that. And then I'll give you an image of that. Do you see that locomotive right there on that side of the hill? With all the cars wrecked and mangled right there, laying across this creek. That happened right there. Now, this is one of those sites that people died. 23 people died here in this accident. There's no memorial set up on this site. There's nothing like that. But it was a big train wreck. Big for that time. Matter of fact, it was North Carolina's largest train wreck that had ever happened. So, I wanted to get in here today to see if there's anything left over. See if there's any parts to that train left over. You know, those are historical pieces to that event. And, you know, those cars flipped over and smashed to pieces. Coins, jewelry, all that stuff could be laying down on the ground here. The cleanup efforts probably would have been very quick. They would have had to cut things up and just haul them out. I doubt they tried to lift everything up back on the bridge. They probably just carted everything out down the creek, or there's a road right over here. And I came here a couple years ago to research this, and I actually searched on the opposite side. I was searching over there. I never came over here, and this is where the train landed, because this is facing southbound right here, and this train was coming from the north, headed southbound. And that was the information I found. Here's another image of the cars laying in the creek. That's the caboose, the Pullman car, in the back there, and the engine is way up here in the front. That was laying right there on the side of that hill. So everything came right off, right about here, straight down, poop, right there. So let's be respectful of this area, and let's just check it out and pull some history out of the ground. Tell the story. That's what it's all about. Telling the story, getting the story out there so people remember these things. The thing behind this story is they ended up arresting 2 people, supposedly, and I say that because it was kind of iffy in the newspaper report that I read, supposedly stealing spikes off the rail, which may have caused this. But then again, this engine, this train, departed at 2:30 a.m. and was already like 40-something minutes behind schedule. So I'm pretty sure he had the steam going. But, you know, then again, there's no curves here either. It's a straight run. So, spikes potentially could have done this, for sure. Missing spikes off the rail definitely could have done that. But anyway, I have a huge creek to cross right here. And I'm going to get soaking wet, but I think I can cross right there. It looks like some logs or something, I don't know. And there looks like a tree hanging over right there. I might be able to cross. It's going to be wet. It's cold. It's like 30-something degrees. But I'm going to bring you this video, and I'm going to tell you the story, and we're going to find some items from this train wreck. We're going to document it. 1891. August of 1891. See you on the first hole. Going that way. So I decided to stay on this side and detect. I don't know why I didn't think of that the first time. I was like, oh, I gotta cross this creek. I better just get over there. But no. Some of the cars landed on this side of the creek too. So let me check this side first. And, geez, I didn't move but 2 feet and found something here. I don't know if that's a fishing weight or something that somebody made. Looks like some seals. These are seals wrapped around it. Interesting. I don't know. Big chunk of round iron with something wrapped. Could it be a part to this old train wreck? Possibly. Possibly. Moving on. Here's an old chunk of iron. I thought maybe a square nut at first, but and it's got secretions on it. Old dirt secretions. Maybe a piece. I don't know. I'm looking for something more identifiable. Let's keep looking. Now here's another very old piece of iron coming up. Kind of unrecognizable. But if we see anything with damage, then I guess we'd know. Because I'm telling you, a fall like that is going to cause some damage to iron, everything else. Huh. Yeah, this is an old piece. That definitely could be what we're looking for. Something like that right there. There's a relic, most likely from this train wreck. A chunk, a piece to one of the cars, to something. We can clean it up and try to identify it. It has a pattern on it. Yeah, there's a nice relic right there. Nice. And I got a couple other things over here. Found a spike, but I don't think that's related to our time period. You see the age difference in the appearance of this stuff? Those two right there are probably 1800s. Those are more modern. Yep. See ya. Shotgun shell. Jeez, you know, you find these everywhere. Pick up your trash, hunters. Time to get wet and cold. Looks like some animals were coming down here. There's a whole piece of rail right there. That looks kind of deep. Yeah. That's not going to be fun. Nope. Oh boy, it's 30 degrees out. Alright, see you on the other. Well, I survived the crossing, but whew, it is chilly. Look at all the flint in this. This is flint. It's not good grade flint, but it's flint. Tons of it in this ballast stone. Ballast, that's what they call the stone they use on the railroad. I know, because I used to work for the railroad. I was a freight conductor for a while, until I realized working for the railroad, whew, it's not going to be a very long gig. Alright, so this is where most of the cars landed, right here. All in here. The engine was laying up on this hill. That might even be the indentation of it still. See it right there? Oh, I bet it's loaded with iron in here. There is pachysandra on the ground too. See it? That's all pachysandra. That usually says old home site. Interesting. So here's what I'm imagining. There's a rise over there, and kind of, this used to be all flat over that way. It's an asphalt company now, and then the road was out that way. It would have been way too difficult to try to maneuver everything through there, up there, up there, up there. So I think they took everything out that way. And newspaper reports say that, you know, they had trouble with this spot after the accident because of rubberneckers. You know, they all came out here wanting to see it and observe it and everything, and yeah, so they had trouble with that. So there was a lot of people out here in 1891. But this story has long been forgotten. Long been forgotten. Well, let's start searching this side. This is where the train landed, right there, with the engine right up in there. Probably right in that little nook right there. And these trees right here were not here. Those trees over there were. So this was all empty. All empty, no trees. Alright, see you on the first hole. Yes, let me explain one thing before I start detecting again. The engine would have been right there on the side of the hill, right there. The tender car would have been right here. The baggage car would have been right here. The second class passenger car would have been there. First class passenger car would have been right there, probably right in the creek, with the private car on the end, and then the caboose, which was on the other side of the creek, laying right here. So now we know the layout. Right away, big chunk of iron right here. Imagine if we go up there a little bit, probably right in here, there'll be a whole lot of coal. That coal might have came down here too, out of the tender car. So if we start finding coal, well, no, we're in the right spot. Alright, this was a big iron hit. There's a piece of iron right there. You see how the dirt has encrusted to it like that? That almost looks like a plow point to me. But then again, it has that round nub on the end of it, which isn't a plow point. There's some kind of debossing right there of something, or maybe that's just rust globules, I don't know. That might be a relic right there. Part to the train, something. And I'll try to identify all these parts later on, of course. I'm just going to make a little pile over here next to the tree. Alright, moving on. Yup, what did I tell you? I don't think this is a coincidence. There is coal. This is probably the accident layer right here, about 5 inches deep. 1891, that makes about pretty good sense. And look at all the coal in there. Chunks and pieces of coal. See it? But not just that. I have a piece of iron in there at that same depth, which most likely is a part to the wreck. Could have came off the tender car along with the coal. Just a broken piece. It snapped right in half. You can see that. Something. No telling. That's our layer right there. That's our accident layer. Alright, let's see what else we can find here. Lots of coal. This is where the tender was. I'm just going to document everything I find for you because I don't know what it is. I think that might be, I don't know. Could it have been an old bridge part? It's in the same layer. It's right down here where the tender was and the engine was. No telling. I don't think that has quite the age to it. It could. See the color difference of it as well? I think that's going to be a little newer piece. Yeah. Do you see down there? I know it's probably hard to see. There's coal. This is probably about 8 inches deep, and there's a chunk of iron right here. This is the accident layer right there. Just tons and tons of coal. Look at all that coal. Lots of coal. There's a big piece of iron in there, and it doesn't want to come up. I'm just chipping around it, try to get... Oh, there. I wiggled it a little bit, so it should probably come up now. Let's get the shovel in there. Nice thing about iron is you're not going to hurt it too much if you go prying on it, which is a good thing. It's a nice sized chunk of iron right there. There we go. We got it. We got it. What is it? This is, see all the coal on it right there? This is definitely from the accident site and time period. There's no other reason for all that coal to be down here other than that tender flipping over. Look at all the coal encrusted to it. Look at that. I'm not sure what piece that is. This might be part of the coupling. But we can find out, that's for sure. There's a lot of railroad historians out there. Nice. Look at that. You can see the damage right there. See it? See how that piece is bent? This piece where my thumb is? See how it's bent? That's not normal. Was this solid iron? Yep. Nice. There's a relic right there from this train accident. For sure. Documented on video for you to witness. Nice. Let's see what else we can get. I'm just searching the engine and the tender area right now. Yeah, lots more coal coming up. And it's just in that one layer. There's a piece of iron in here somewhere that belongs to us. There's a nice piece of coal. I was looking. Is that coal? Yeah, that's coal. I'm going to take a couple of these pieces of coal home with me as well, because they are equally important to the artifacts of this train wreck. Look at that, more coal down there. Got an iron spike, it looks like a newer spike. It was laying on top of the old layer, so it's probably not as old. Have a couple spikes already. But I want to get down there and get that one piece of coal. Crumbled. Crumbled. That's a nice piece. That'll work. Alright. Huge piece of iron right here. Pretty solid. Let's see what we get. Yeah, it might be just a modern plate. Probably a modern tie plate. It's not deep enough. It's not even in our layer, but then again, erosion could. I'm searching down here instead of up there right now because stuff would have rolled downhill. Matter of fact, if you look up there, right where my finger is, you'll see the indentation where the engine was. And it looks like they brought it down here, which is another indentation right there. See it? And they dragged it out this way, right there. So probably most of the debris is going to be out here where they cut it up. But I want the original accident, broken parts kind of stuff. Ooh, what do you suppose that was? This looks like a support. A support for something. I don't know if that's original or not. Guess if we start seeing rivets, I don't know. Again, I'm going to have all this stuff checked out from railroad historians to determine. If you are a railroad buff and you know what this is, let me know. If this is off of 1891 engine, train, car, tender, or whatever, let me know. Another large piece of steel coming up. Is it another plate? Yeah. It's another plate. Oh, that one's heavy. That one's heavy. That's a serious one right there. Those might be from the train wreck. Just possibly. I mean, look at the coal that's in there. That is our layer. We'll save that coal. Nice big signal here in relic mode. Let's see what it is. There it is right there. It's a washer. There's no telling if this is part of the age. There's a little bit of coal in there, not a whole lot. It goes deeper. The coal is much deeper. So, I don't know. I'm going to say probably not our time frame, but you never know. Looks like some kind of rail tie-down piece with a spike. I do not believe those are our age. There's no coal in this layer. Then again, we're moving away from where the tender spilled, so there's no telling. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Check this out. I'm getting a nice tone down here. I don't know if it's going to be that piece of coal or not. But look at how this coal is embedded that deep in the ground. This is our accident layer right there. That's it. That's our accident layer. Did you know coal gives off signals? Yeah. I got a good signal too. I'm curious to find out if it's actually the coal that I'm detecting or not. Because I'm not seeing anything down here except for coal. And all this has been impacted into that soil right there. Look at all that coal down there. That's the accident site. That's the level. Right there. That's pretty deep. I'm glad I got the MX Sport. I'll be able to get down that deep. I got it on relic mode, so I can hear all those deep signals. There's something right here. I don't know what it is. If it's a rock or iron. Oh, that's a piece of iron. Look at that. Right down there in the accident layer. It's kind of hard to say if that's the signal I'm getting or not. Because relic mode will give you good tone signals from iron as well. Because you're looking for relics. And a lot of the relics from the past were iron. Alright, I'm going to shovel this out a little bit more. Let's see what this is. Big chunk of something. Definitely looks damaged. Look at the coal embedded in there. That's original coal right there from the wreck. This looks like maybe one of the undercarriage truck parts. Oh, you can tell that impacted. I mean, this stuff is just stuck right to it. There you go. That's a piece of history right there. Looks like it broke right here. Snapped right off. And looks like there was some other parts that snapped on the side here too. No telling, but I think that went inside one of the trucks for the wheels. Might have been for a spring or something like that. If you can identify that part, let me know. Very heavy. That is from the accident site. Accident level right there. And look at how that impacted in there. Wow. Awesome. Well, that's going to do it for me today. It's just a short hunt. I wanted to get out here, show you this accident site. It is Thanksgiving Day, and happy Thanksgiving. Oh, and I gotta get home and do my Thanksgiving with the family. Ooh, this is cold. Ooh, it's even colder the second time. Well, that's no fun. Alright, well anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next hunt. I'll be coming back here when I have more time, and we'll see what else we can find. Hopefully we'll find what the passengers left over. I know, theory. Thanks for watching. See ya.